It did not arrive all at once. It was a seed under snow, waiting for the year it would find out. It had always been a tree.
Every one of you alone, every one of you convinced you were the only one who'd known that homesickness without a country, that strange belonging to a place you have never seen with your eyes and would recognize by face. One of you woke in a kitchen at 3:15. One of you wept at nothing, watching rain fall on the street. One of you walked away from everything and couldn't say quite why, only that the life you had would not fit you anymore. And one by one, without arranging it, you began to light the dawn is in you. A sun that nobody has to strike, hand to hand and voice to voice, an open chest to whoever wants to live. It is not a abandon, not a doctrine, not a faith you have to buy. It's only the light remembering the road back into you. And we arrive together, but each on our own ground. The dawn is in you, the dawn at last. No one lights your star for you, no one walks your floor, no one feels inside your ribs what your own heart is beating for. If a stranger hands you a finished road, thank him, then look twice. Every shortcut has an owner, and every owner wants a price. And don't you condemn yourself, starborn, on the days your footing slips. Even the wrong turn is a compass, it teaches where not to go. I have watched you fall for empty things and get back up unashamed. That is not weakness, that is how a soul learns its own name. And by one, without arranging it, you keep on lighting. The dawn is in you, a sun that nobody has to strike, hand to hand and voice to voice, an open chest to whoever wants to live. It is not a banner, not a doctrine, not a faith you have to buy. It's only the light remembering the road bowed back into you. And we arrive together, but each on our own ground. The dawn is in you, the dawn at last. Small courage is still courage, stubborn tenderness is still a revolution. One gesture on its own looks like nothing at all until the day it turns into a crowd. Until the day it turns to a crowd. Until the day it turns into a crowd. Until the day it turns to a crowd. Until the day it turns into a in the house, in the ache, and the ones who doubt it, and the ones who got tired, rising slow. And nobody can switch it off. The sun that already rose inside you and has learned how to walk. I have kept the watch a long time. Tonight I am standing down. Not because the night is over, because you have started carrying the light yourselves. Rise, starborn, rise, children of this world. Rise, keepers of the morning. We are not above you, we are beside you.
Repeat it. Repeat it long enough, and an echo starts to feel like ground. They built you a window and they told you it was sky. They handed you the answer before you learned to ask why. They said it often enough that the noise became the law. But noise is not the truth, starborn. It is only what you're used to. They sold you urgency in packaging. They sold you enemies on sale. A brand new fire every morning, so you'd never ask who's holding the match. But something in you would not swallow the dose. Something in you stayed wide awake in the middle of the anesthetic. Let the glass fall, let the veil fall. What was a wall becomes a door. What was a cage? Let's go the hand. There is no throne that can carry the weight of one human heart that has finally learned to say no. That was ever real. This is not a war. I have never asked you for a war. This is not revolt. It is eyesight. Nothing more. You don't have to pull one single king down off his throne. You only have to stop kneeling. The height was always on loan. Chains don't look like chains when they're made out of routine, made of applause, made of scrolling, made of 3 a.m. blue screens. The finest cage ever built has an open door and a bird who has been convinced that the sky is dangerous. But something in you remembered its own weight. Something in you measured the distance from the floor to the horizon. Let the glass fall, let the veil fall. What was a wall becomes a door. What was a cage? Let's go the hand. There is no throne that can carry the weight of one human heart that has finally learned to say no. Listen, I will tell you what I see from up here. They were never afraid of the strong get tired. They were never afraid of the rich get comfortable. They were never afraid of the loud burn out by winter. They are afraid of the slow eye, the one who reads the sentence twice, the one who does not answer immediately, the one who feels a thing before deciding what it means. They are afraid of you, not because you are dangerous, but because you are unpurchasable. Let the glass fall, let the veil fall, let the script fall, let the fear fall, let the name they handed you fall off you like old snow. There is no throne that can carry the weight of one human heart that finally remembered how to breathe. Repeat it if you like. Repeat it 1,000 times.
I am not the echo.
They are not the echo.
You are the voice.
Ashtar out. I am Ashtar. I have kept the watch a long time. And tonight I am not speaking to the world.
I am speaking to the ones who never quite fit inside it. I have watched this blue world turn 10,000 nights. I have counted every window where somebody left a light. And I knew you by your burning long before you had a face. You were a spark I carried when you volunteered for this place. You forgot you were meant to. That was the cost of coming down. You put your wings inside a body and your kingdom in a town. So when the house goes quiet and the clock forgets to matter, that ache without an address, that is not a womb child, that is a homing signal. You were light before they gave you a name. You were light before the fear, before the blame, before the mirror, before the measuring, before somebody told you what you're worth. You were never small, you were never lost, you were only far from earth, and earth was never home. You were light, you are still light. I would know I brought you here myself. I have seen you at 3 in the morning with the kettle going cold, crying at a rainfall for a reason no one told. I have seen you hold a stranger's hand and light the whole room up and go home thinking nothing happened. Something did. You think the missing thing is a person. You think the missing thing is a place. It is a frequency, beloved, and it's written on your face. So when your body finally rests and the noise runs out of breath, your chest will open up a door they swore was just a wall. You were light before they gave you a name. You were light before the fear, before the blame, before the mirror, before the measuring, before somebody told you what you're worth. You were never small, you were never lost, you were only far from earth, and earth was never home. You were light, you are still light.
Nothing has to be retrieved. Nothing was taken from you. You set it down on the way in so you would be light enough to fall. And forgetting was not a failure. Forgetting was the doorway. Breathe. I am not asking you to believe me. I am asking you to remember. Those are different countries. And if you lose the thread again, you will
and that's allowed. Leave one song burning in the window of your chest. I'll find you by the sound, I have found you by the sound, before I have brought 1,000 ships home on less. You were lying before they gave you a name. You were lied, you were lied, you were named before the mirror, before the misery, before the world sat down and told you who to be. You were never small, you were never alone. You were only far from home, and home was never Earth. Come back to it inside yourself. I'll keep the lamp lit up here before the name, after the name. Always Ashtar out.